3 scary true bowling horror stories by Mr. Nightmare. Horror stories can really take place anywhere because at the bowling alley? Huh? There's gotta be stories of like people going bowling by themselves or, you know, maybe with a group of people but getting creeped on or possibly almost kidnapped from bowling alleys or something because I can't think of what else would happen at a bowling alley, bruh. It's a small place, it's congested, there's a lot of people in there usually unless you go super duper late night. I don't know, but we're about to go ahead and check these stories out, man. Without further ado. Oh yeah, make sure y'all cut off all y'all lights in y'all house. Make the scary vibe around you so we can watch this video together. Without further ado, let's get it. All right, let's get it started, baby. Story 1, Peter Flanagan.
I used to go bowling quite often with my friends when I was young. I'm talking like 12, 13.
Okay.
There's a bowling alley down the block from my friends and I, and so we go there on weekends. The bowling alley has been closed for years, but when it was open, it was super cheap and affordable. Perfect for a bunch of young teenagers who didn't have money of their own.
Yeah, it's not like a good time.
One weekend, I went with my friends Jacob, Josh, and Mikey to the bowling alley. We always went at night. It was likely around 8 p.m.
Okay.
The bowling alley was always crowded on the weekends.
Of course.
Sometimes we'd see familiar faces. There was this older man who would sometimes be there alone, bowling on the adult side of the bowling alley where alcohol was served.
Okay.
We always played on the non-alcoholic side.
Of course.
How we took notice to that man was because he'd sometimes just weirdly walk down the entire bowling alley, passing every lane, watching people bowling. Then we'd notice him end up back at his lane all by himself. We nicknamed him Creeper Bob after maybe the third time seeing him.
Creeper Bob.
Tonight there was a lane open next to us, and guess who out of nowhere sat next to us? Bob, or whatever his real name was, but I'll keep referring to him as Bob. He was setting up a game on the lane next to us by himself.
Come on,
It wasn't
bro.
long until he started trying to talk to us. He started making comments on our form, and every so often interrupting our conversation to tell us weird things like how long he's been coming here. Then eventually he said something really weird. That he watches us play every weekend from across the bowling alley, and he decided to come over and introduce himself tonight.
Why?
He played it off like he was trying to be some kind of bowling teacher to us. But really, it was just annoying and most of all, uncomfortable. Bob at one point entered our lane as I was up to bowl.
Okay.
He grabbed my wrist with his hands to position me into an allegedly better form.
Nah, don't, bro.
Gave him permission to touch me.
Don't touch me.
For his guidance. We were only like 13 though. None of us stood up and said, yo, get lost or something.
Yeah,
like
of course. You're too young for
I
that.
could just feel the unease.
You don't got that in you yet.
Every moment of that man touching me, I felt more and more disgusted.
Yeah.
We cut our night at the bowling alley short because of him. We used the money that we would have used on more games on getting pizza instead at a pizza place further out the block.
Okay.
When we came out, Jacob and Mikey went their own ways since they lived on a different block.
Oh.
Josh and I walked back down the other way in the direction of our houses. As we did, the sound of a car engine starting made us turn around.
Uh-huh.
We noticed an old SUV like a Ford Explorer banging a three-point turn. We both imagined the possibility of it being Creeper Bob.
Yeah.
The SUV started slowly tailing us as we walked down the street.
Come on,
Picked up
bro.
our pace. Then the SUV pulled up right alongside us, and the window rolled down. It was in fact the man from the bowling alley.
You guys want to ride?
He said out the window that he could offer us a ride home. We said no thanks.
Fuck no.
He replied it's not safe for a couple kids to be walking around late at night.
Shut up.
We weren't even really that young. We were young teenagers, not little kids. And
Right.
It was crazy that he thought we were young enough to trick into getting into a car. When we made it clear we weren't getting in, he pulled to the side of the road and parked his car. Josh and I decided to start jogging home.
Yeah.
When we reached the intersection where we'd split off, we said bye and I continued jogging home.
Run home
By the
now.
time I made it back, I was out of breath. Running after eating pizza is not a good idea.
Why the hell do park?
Dad was already asleep because he worked weekends. My mom was out with her girlfriends most likely, and the same was probably the case with my sister.
Well, at least dad's
I
home
wasn't
though.
supposed to ring the bell because my dad didn't want to be woken up.
Man, fuck that.
I went around back to get the key we had for the back door, which was hidden in the shed. When I got out from the shed, I thought I heard something, and I should have listened to my gut.
Why?
I went to the back door to unlock it, and as I opened the door, I heard the sound of someone running up behind me.
Hell no.
Before I could fully turn around, someone pushed me inside the house, covering my mouth and wrapping their arm around my neck. I wasn't able to see who it was because I couldn't turn my head. I scratched and clawed at the man's hand until I could move my mouth just enough out of the grip of his hand and scream, "Dad."
Yeah.
I may have only been 13, but I was able to put up enough of a fight to get him to lose his grip a few times, allowing me to scream.
Right?
This undoubtedly scared him off, as he finally let go for good and ran outside.
Oh my
I
gosh.
didn't look back. I ran up the half flight of stairs to the main floor and yelled for my dad. My dad came rushing out of his room, and after telling him what just happened, he checked the backyard and all around the property and then came back inside. I told him about the man from the bowling alley, how we nicknamed him Creeper Bob, how he followed Josh and I in his SUV after admitting to stalking us at the bowling alley. My dad filed a police report and tried getting the bowling alley to release the video surveillance from that night, but they refused.
Why?
I was never allowed to go back there after my mom found out about this. Not that I'd ever want to.
Why they refuse?
Technically, I can't say with 100% certainty that the man who came in behind me and grabbed me was the man from the bowling alley.
True, but
realistically,
you know it was him.
How slim are the chances that it wasn't him?
You knew damn well it was him. Bro, what the hell? And then why didn't the bowling alley want to release the footage? I can see if they didn't want to release it to the dad, but they wouldn't at least release it to the cops? What you mean, bruh? Dog, that shit ain't cool, man. It's some weird people out in this world, bruh. Stay safe and stay dangerous, dog, because they out here. What was he doing, bruh? He tried to snatch him up out the house. You thought you was strong enough. I'm glad the dude was able to fight him off. If he was any younger than 13, shit, he might not have been strong enough. That's crazy, bruh. That's crazy. All right, story number 2 by Sean Capalot. It's a funny name.
When I was a teenager, my close group of friends were, I guess, what you'd call delinquents. We liked causing trouble, breaking rules, and messing around in places we didn't belong.
Wow.
I grew up in a suburb in northern New Jersey, so I guess you could say we were just spoiled kids with nothing better to do. Looking back, the way we passed the time was a little silly, but there's nothing I can do about that now. Anyway, one of the things we really liked to do was to go exploring in the late hours of the night.
Okay.
Usually we explored abandoned buildings, but not always. We actually got banned from our middle school after jumping through an open window, but that's a story for another time.
Wow.
This particular night, we were planning on executing a riskier task. There were 5 of us.
Okay.
Me, Chip, Jason, Rowan, and Anish. Rowan had a tendency to bounce around from job to job, which was kind of a running joke in our squad.
Okay.
He'd lose jobs as quickly as he'd get them, usually for the dumbest reasons you can imagine.
Damn.
He had just picked up a gig as an attendant at a bowling alley a few towns over from us. I'm sure you could see where this is going.
2 towns over.
He had been entrusted the key to close up the place the night before. Anish was a master of persuasion, and he somehow convinced Rowan to let us explore the bowling alley at like 3 a.m.
Oh.
Anish could convince someone to give them their kidney. That's how persistent he was.
Okay.
I haven't heard from him in a while. I think he might actually be in jail right now.
Oh, shit.
Anyway, the 5 of us agreed to get a little drunk before.
Wow.
We all had a substantial amount to drink except for Jason, who refused to go anywhere unless he was the one driving. His dad had a really nice BMW, and Jason liked being able to end our links when he got tired.
Yeah.
After getting a little buzzed,
I can see that.
James drove the 5 of us to the location.
All right, y'all, I'm tired. Let's go.
I was the heavy drinker of the squad. It's not something I'm proud of, but it's just who I was at that point in my life.
Yeah.
Because of this, I usually took things a little less seriously than I should have, especially when it came to dangerous or risky situations.
Okay.
Rowan unlocked the door, and the 5 of us made our way inside. Chip was usually the most cautious, and he kept chiding us to be careful in a hilariously high-pitched voice. Rowan told us we couldn't actually do any bowling right now, which we were a little upset about.
Y'all thought you were gonna be able to bowl too?
Doing some makeshift sliding on the lanes as if they were slip and slides.
Oh my gosh.
Since we were drunk, this was actually pretty fun. The 5 of us soon tired ourselves out and decided we wanted to do some exploring.
We've all wanted to slide down a bowling lane.
Any back rooms we could check out, and he told us there were. We made our way into the employee-only area, and Rowan led us to some kind of storage room.
Bro.
We started poking around and flipping things over.
You're about to get this dude fired.
We figured Rowan was going to get fired anyway, so we weren't too concerned with messing things up.
That's messed up.
As we started getting bored, we heard a deafening bump from below us. The 5 of us froze, staring at each other. Jason, the only sober one in the group, asked if the place had a basement. Rowan looked just as shocked as we were, and told that he had no prior knowledge of a potential basement.
Oh.
Anish grinned, eager to continue exploring. Chip seemed really nervous, telling us that we were probably going to end up getting Rowan fired. We were whispering now, arguing whether we wanted to go look for this hypothetical basement.
Bro.
Just then, Jason lifted the edge of a rug nestled in the corner, revealing a hatch. We were shocked. The atmosphere in the room instantly shifted with the realization that the situation was now serious.
Y'all heard the bump.
If we had found the way into the basement, the sound we heard was still unexplained.
Yeah, don't go down there.
None of us really wanted to go down there, but Jason made the first move in his classic level-headed style.
Oh my God.
He flung the latch open and stared down at the old, rusted ladder leading into the darkness. "Screw this," whispered Chip, motioning for us to leave.
Yeah.
Jason ignored him and went for the stairs. He pulled out his phone and shined the flashlight into the blackness. Without another word, he descended into the abyss. I could tell Rowan, Anish, and Chip were a little scared.
This fearless motherfucker.
I still had a lot of liquid confidence, so I decided I'd go.
That goddamn liquid courage.
Anish followed behind me, and Rowan brought up the rear. Chip refused to come down with us. The four of us pulled out our phone flashlights and began exploring the basement.
Bro, y'all are tweaking.
It was filled with dust and cardboard boxes, stacked up to the ceiling. There was nothing else down there, or at least that's what we originally thought.
Right?
Anish noticed a door in the corner, and we walked over to it. Jason put his hand on the handle, but a split second before he was going to open it, we heard a distinctive bump come from the other side, which sounded identical to the one we heard earlier.
Oh my
We
gosh.
looked around at each other, with horrified looks on our faces. I could tell we were all thinking the same thing. An animal, maybe? No shot, it was too loud to be an animal. I was pretty freaked out at this point and turned away to leave. Like an idiot, Jason cracked the door open, revealing another storage room.
Why?
Not all that was in there, though. In the corner of the room, there was a human figure sitting on the ground with its legs crossed, facing away from us.
Hell
Frozen
no.
in place, utterly terrified. After a full minute of stagnance, the person in the corner of the room banged their head against the wall, explaining the sounds we had been hearing.
The fuck?
I began tiptoeing to the ladder, careful not to make any noise. The rest of my friends turned around and began doing the same, clearly filled with terror. Just then, Rowan tripped on a piece of junk on the floor and then cursed.
God,
The person in the room
God.
yelled, and we ran. Jason and I were up the ladder in a split second.
They just yelled.
Anish close behind. Chip was leaned over the hatch, concerned with what he was hearing. Anish made it up, and the three of us ran out of the room. We heard Rowan scream, "Get off me!" but Anish and Jason were too terrified to turn back.
Oh!
I ran back into the room and saw Chip chucking a metal pipe down the hatch, which was followed by a demonic scream. Rowan scrambled on the ladder, and Chip grabbed his wrist, yanking him up. Rowan ran toward me while Chip slammed the hatch shut. The five of us sprinted out of the bowling alley.
Bruh.
Rowan hastily locked the door with trembling hands. Jason drove us back with a blank look on his face. We listened as Rowan described what happened after the rest of us made it up the ladder. Apparently, whoever had been in the basement jumped on Rowan's back, clawing at him. Chip came to his rescue and nailed Rowan's attacker in the head with that pipe.
Hell yeah.
The lunatic to fall backward. Rowan said he only saw the guy's face for a split second. It was the horrifying face of a dirty, old, homeless-looking guy with a bird's nest of hair on his head.
Huh.
Rowan ended up quitting the next day without giving his boss an explanation.
Hell yeah.
It's definitely illegal what we had done.
Right.
To this day, we have no idea how that guy could have gotten down there. Maybe there was an alternate entrance we had overlooked. Either way, the basement had been intentionally hidden, which tells me that Rowan's boss might have known something about the whole thing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
This experience ruined my taste for bowling, which I have not done since.
Damn. My boy ain't been back to a bowling alley since then. But yeah, bro, that would, I probably wouldn't want to go back bowling after that either, dog. Y'all got secret basements in a hidden, with a secret entrance compartment hidden underneath a rug. You got to go down there. There's a homeless dude in a corner banging his head against the wall. And y'all telling me that after y'all did what y'all did and y'all like startled him, he just started yelling. He even attacked the dude. Oh, bro. That is crazy. That's crazy. Hell no. What? I guess it does make sense that a bowling alley would have a basement, But the fact that some employees wouldn't know of its existence is crazy. That's crazy. Ugh. All right, bruh. Hey, we got one more story by Carp. Let's go.
One night, my girlfriend Rebecca and I decided it would be fun to go bowling. We drove to the closest bowling alley and went through the whole process of renting shoes, finding balls, and picking a lane.
Okay.
We both were really bad. Neither of us had been bowling in many years. We paid for an hour of bowling. Rebecca wasn't really enjoying it too much because she kept getting gutter balls. I was doing better than her, but not by much, so I wasn't really able to help her out much. And then to make matters even worse, Rebecca's ex-boyfriend arrived with his group of friends and they started bowling a few lanes down from us.
Oh,
Rebecca
no.
looked away, refusing to even look in that direction.
Of course.
Whispering at me that we need to leave now. We packed it up early and left.
Okay.
She went to the car and waited while I returned the shoes. I think her ex spotted me while I was at the front counter, and I looked away. I didn't tell Rebecca this, though. We went home and agreed to play Wii bowling instead and have some wine.
Hey!
It sounded much more fun anyway.
Some Wii bowling action.
Home. The first thing I did was turn on the Wii and open a bottle of wine. The bowling alley trip was a failure, but I didn't want Rebecca to be unhappy.
Right.
We played Wii bowling for like half an hour with music on in the background and drinking wine. It turned out to be much more fun than the bowling alley.
Yeah, so hey,
Until
good
the
times.
song that was playing ended, and we heard something come from upstairs in that brief moment of silence.
What the hell?
Rebecca and I looked at each other, telling me she heard it too. I
Bro!
turned off the music for good, but now there was just silence.
Don't tell me the boyfriend is crazy.
Could best be described as a heavy object being dropped on the floor. I went upstairs to investigate. I checked every bedroom with the lights on. I checked under every bed. I was relieved to find nothing. I wasn't actually expecting to find someone in the house, but naturally, you do need to go investigate if you hear a suspicious sound in your house.
You do.
Still, I wondered what—
As much as, this is the only positive story, as much as I always talk about how, bruh, you don't investigate the sound. When you hear a noise, you go away from the noise. You don't walk toward the scary sound. We talk about that all the time, right? But realistically speaking, if it's your house and you live there and you hear a noise, you gotta go fucking investigate it. What you gonna do? You just gonna leave it alone? You gonna leave and let the thing that is in your house possibly just be there forever to sneak attack you when you go to sleep? Because you gotta come back home. So yeah, you do gotta investigate it if it's your house.
What actually made the sound, because I didn't find anything on the floor. After maybe another half an hour of playing Wii bowling, we brought our little wine party upstairs to the bedroom, and eventually we fell asleep. Rebecca's a lightweight, so she got much drunker than me.
Okay.
Which explains why I was the one to wake up in the middle of the night and not her. I heard what woke me up though. It was another clear and distinct sound of something heavy being dropped from above.
Oh my God.
The only thing is, now we were upstairs, and yet the sound still came from above.
Oh, they're on the roof.
The attic. The attic door is right outside my bedroom door. It's one of those doors with a string that you pull down and a metal ladder comes down. I tiptoed out of the bedroom to not wake up Rebecca. I stood under the attic door and listened. Every 5 seconds or so, I heard the slightest creaking sound, like from the weight of something moving around.
Motherfucker creeping through the attic.
I didn't want to scare Rebecca, but I'd heard of animals getting into people's attics sometimes. I went to get a broom from the closet to use as a possible weapon if I were to have to fend off an animal.
Okay.
Then I quietly pulled the attic door open and climbed up. I stopped at the top of the ladder in the darkness and listened. I heard creaking.
Oh my goodness.
It was the creaking of the wooden rocking chair we had up there. I used my phone as a light to reveal the rocking chair. There was someone sitting in it, slowly rocking. I nearly fell off the ladder.
What the
I
hell?
wanted to go run back to Rebecca and hide. I wanted to do anything but approach this person. But I gathered the courage to yell, "Who are you?" The rocking stopped, and the man turned around to look at me. He started making this animalistic, gargling, growling sound. Then he got up, and that's when I hurried down the ladder and pushed the attic door up.
The fuck?
I screamed for Rebecca to call the cops until I heard her acknowledge me. I stayed under the attic door, preventing it from being opened, as the man in the attic tried kicking the door open.
No, you ain't coming out. You ain't coming out.
He stopped, and I heard the deranged laughter of a sick, mentally ill person.
Oh.
He spoke in another language. It sounded Russian. I felt like my arms were going to fall off, holding up the attic door, waiting for the police.
That's not our ex.
When they finally arrived, Rebecca went downstairs to let them in. From here, it was the job of the police officers to go up there and remove the man.
Yeah.
Rebecca and I waited in the living room, sitting on the couch next to each other, until we saw them bringing the man out through the living room to the front door in handcuffs. The way the man looked at me said everything. He was a dangerous, mentally ill person. His stare was full of hatred and craziness, with a hint of confusion. His lip contorted in this bizarre way that would almost make you think he were drunk. Whatever happened with him, we don't know.
Bruh.
He pressed civil charges, but I'm sure he was charged criminally if they didn't deem him to be insane.
Yeah.
This happened in the summertime when we keep the windows open, and so it was most likely that he squeezed through one of the windows in the backyard. I'm not sure why he picked our house. We may just have been the unlucky house he stumbled across.
Right? Bruh. Okay, so it would appear that the whole thing with her ex was just why they left the bowling alley. It had nothing to do with the ex in actuality. Bro, so a crazy, mentally deranged dude that might have been trying to really hurt you broke in the goddamn house. He was laughing and shit. Oh, he definitely was gonna do something to you had he been able to get to you, bro. He was rocking in the chair and shit while y'all was playing bowling. Bro, first of all, you don't never leave your windows open. I don't give a damn about it being summertime. I know it get hot. But if you're gonna open windows, it needs to be windows that you can see, windows that you can, that you're attending. Don't leave just random other windows in the house open. Hell no. Why would you ever do that? That wasn't smart. But I'm glad they was able to stay safe, man. That dude went up in the attic and was rocking in the chair. I don't know what made him go up there, but that's crazy, bro. That could have been so much worse than it was. I'm glad the cops was able to come get that boy up out of there. I'm glad there was no exit from the attic. Like once he was up there, he was stuck. So all you had to do was keep the dude from kicking the door open, and then yeah, you wait till the cops come get him. That would be scary as hell, bro. I would never open a window again. I just wouldn't do it. Man, but hey, that is gonna do it for this video, bro. 3 scary true bowling horror stories. That shit, it's crazy. The third one didn't really have nothing to do with bowling. It just started at a bowling alley. The second one was in the bowling alley, which is some bullshit. And the first one left the bowling alley, but it started there too. But yeah, man, be careful out there, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Stay safe, stay dangerous, be on your P's and Q's. Watch out for crazy motherfuckers trying to break into your house. Watch out for crazy people trying to follow you and, kidnap you and put you in a van. Shit's crazy. Oh yeah, and don't go in bowling alley basements. Just stay out of basements in general. That basements just aren't a good place to be. God damn it. Unless your basement is tricked out into like a gaming room or something. Hey man, I'm about to go ahead and get up out of here, man. Make sure y'all show a lot of love to the video. Like, share, and subscribe. Till next time, we up out of this thing. This is boy Dairu signing out. Hey.